So, children, father of genetics was considered to be Mendel. He is known as the father of genetics. Now, let's see Mendel law of inheritance. Now, Mendel conducted some hybridization experiments on garden pea. Garden pea is also known as Pisceum sativum. Always, you should always remember before writing the scientific name, the generic name should be in capital letter. That means the first letter should be capital, and the specific name it should start with a small letter always. And he did this experiment of hybridization for 7 years, from 1856 to 63, and there were certain reasons and the steps that he first followed before doing the hybridization experiments. So steps in making a cross in pea, what he did was he first selection of two pea plants which were having contrasting characters. So first of all, he identified the contrasting characters, and then he selected two pea plants which were having contrasting characters. Then he did the emasculation, that is, he removed the anthers of one plant to avoid self-pollination, because if self-pollination will occur, then whatever character he wanted will the results will not be the same. So, to avoid self-pollination, he emasculated the anthers of one flower, and this is the female parent. Now, because the anthers are removed, so this parent is now the female parent. Then he did pollination, collection of pollen grains from the male parent and transferring it to the female parent. Then he collected and germinated the seeds to produce the offsprings. So these were the steps followed by Mendel. Then what were the seven breeding varieties selected by Mendel? You see the contrasting characters which Mendel found were first of all was the stem height. We all know the tall one is the dominant character and the dwarf is the recessive character. Then the color of the flower, violet and white, as you see here, color of the flower. Then position of the flower. So if the flower was at the top, okay, or if the flower was coming from the axial filament, so it was axial. But if the flower was at the terminal, that is at the tip, then it is terminal. Then shape of the pod. The shape of the pod was inflated or constricted. This was inflated and this is constricted. Then color of the pod, green or yellow. Then seed shape. Now you can see either it is round or it is wrinkled. And color of the seed, yellow and green. You must have seen na jo matar, there are two colors, yellow or green. So these were the characters, contrasting characters which Mendel was using for his experiments. Now, the first Mendel's law of inheritance, the first law, inheritance of one gene. This was the first law of Mendel, inheritance of one gene. And he proved this with the help of a cross called monohybrid cross. Now, children, a cross involving two plants differing in one character of a pair is called monohybrid cross. We are only concerned about one single character. The plant could have many characters, but we are not bothered about other characters. We will, when we are studying only one character at a time, then that type of cross is called monohybrid cross, because we are only concerned about one character. So here in this case, Mendel, we have taken an example of height to be the character. Now there are other characters also, like color of the flower, pod shape, this, that, but we are not bothered about those. We will only watch and we will only study one character, that is height. So Mendel crossed tall and dwarf pea plant to study the inheritance of one gene. Now what he did was cross between tall and dwarf parent. This is the tall parent, this is the dwarf parent, and they were crossed amongst themselves. And the result, after the cross, we will be getting the first generation, that is the F1 generation. But if the character is color of the flower, then the violet and the white will be crossed, and then this character will be studied, only one character. So in this type of cross, we are only worried about the color of the flower. But if we are taking color of the seeds or the pod to be the character, then the cross will be between yellow and green seeded plant. So any one character when we are studying, then this type of cross will be called monohybrid cross, and monohybrid cross is used to study inheritance of one gene. This cross is helpful in studying inheritance of one gene. So let's see here, inheritance of one gene, monohybrid cross. So children, these are the parents. So we took a pure line, that is homozygous tall. Now you see homozygous tall. So what will be my alleles? Capital T, capital T. And I crossed this parent with a homozygous dwarf. So my alleles are small t, small t. Right? Now, what we did is gametes will be formed. Now, when the gametes are formed, segregation will occur. We all know that the parents are always diploid, but gametes are haploid. So, gametes are haploid because reduction, division, or meiosis will occur. And when division will occur, there will be two gametes for homozygous tall, that will two capital T's, and here again segregation, meiosis will occur. So I will get gametes of two type. I'll get two gametes, that is small t, small t, right? So because both the gametes are same, so we have taken only one t. Here also both the gametes are same, so we have taken one small t. So when the gametes will be crossed, when the gametes will be crossed, what will be the result? It will be a heterozygous tall. That means capital T and small t. Now because there is one capital T and one small t, so of course capital T will express itself because it is a dominant character. So this is my first filial generation. So my F1 generation, all the progenies will be tall. So I am getting only one character. You see, I am not getting the recessive character in F1 generation. All my F1 generation plants will be tall. None of my F1 generation progeny will be dwarf. So recessive character is absent in F1 generation. Now what we did is we took two plants from F1 generation and we self-crossed them. We took two plants from F1 generation and we did the selfing. Selfing means we crossed the two plants of F1 generation. Now my F1 generation plants are heterozygous tall, so I have taken two plants. This is also heterozygous tall. This is also heterozygous tall, and I have tried to cross them. Now what gametes will I get for this? Of course I will get two gametes. One will be capital T, one will be small t. Here also I'll get two gametes, capital T, small t. And now when these gametes will fuse, you see, we will make a table, we call it as a Punnett square. This is called a Punnett square. So we will take a square, we will keep two gametes of male and female here, and we will just draw here. You see, capital T, when these two will fuse together, I get a homozygous tall. But when capital T crosses for fuses with small t, I get a heterozygous tall. Again, small t, capital T, when these are fused, I guess heterozygous tall. And small t, when they are fused, I get a homozygous dwarf. So when F2 generation is over or complete, this is the result I am getting. Now what is the result that I am getting? See, I am getting 3 plants which are tall and 1 which is dwarf. Now children, pay attention here. When I say 3 plants are tall, so I am only concerned about the ultimate result. I am only concerned about the height. So when I say 3 are tall and 1 is dwarf, so what is the ratio? 3 is to 1, and this is called phenotypic ratio. Why phenotypic ratio? Because I am only concerned about the result. I am not concerned about what type of genes are present. I have only seen that this is tall, this is also tall, this is also tall. So out of 4 plants, 3 of them are tall and 1 is dwarf. So my phenotypic ratio will be 3 is to 1. But now if I ask you what will be my genotypic ratio, so what you will say is 1 homozygous tall, 2 heterozygous tall, and 1 homozygous dwarf. So my genotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Again I'll repeat my genotypic, because here I have to see the type of genes present. So 1 is homozygous tall, 2 are heterozygous tall, and 1 is homozygous dwarf. So my genotypic ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. Clear? So let me show you the conclusion here. The F1, see, F1 generation all will be heterozygous tall. When they are self-pollinated, they produce gametes either T or small t in equal proportion. During fertilization, pollen grains of tea have 50% chance to pollinate the egg of the capital T and small t. Also, pollen grains of genotype T will also have 50% chance to pollinate the eggs of T and T. So both of them will have 50% chances. Probability will be 50-50, right? And see, this is what we are getting, the result. So let me show you here. 1/4 of the random fertilization leads to homozygous tall, and half of the random fertilization leads to heterozygous tall, and 1/4 leads to homozygous dwarf. So ultimately, if we calculate the result, what are we getting? 1 is to 2 is to 1. So this is the genotypic ratio. 1 is to 2 is to 1. Clear? So children, phenotypic ratio is 3 tall and 1 dwarf, that is 3 is to 1. As simple as I told you. And the genotypic ratio is 1 homozygous tall, 2 heterozygous tall, and 1 homozygous tall dwarf, sorry. So the ratio is 1 is to 2 is to 1. It is quite simple and easy. So this is all about monohybrid cross and inheritance of one gene. Now children, Mendel self-pollinated F2 generation also. Like we self-pollinated F1 generation, similarly we can also self-pollinate F2 and found the dwarf F2 plants continued to generate dwarf plants in F3 and F4. So what did he concluded? He concluded that genotype of dwarf was homozygous. Dwarf result, or a plant will be dwarf only when you have two small t's. A plant height will be short. A plant will have a short height only when there are two small t's. That is, in homozygous condition only the plant can be dwarf. Otherwise, it will be tall. So Mendel made similar observation for other traits also. Like we have taken the example of height. He took the example of flower color also. He took the example of seed color also, the seed shape, pod color. So many characters he used, and he did so many crossovers and studied the ratios. You see, so many ratios were done, and then he gave the conclusion. The conclusion what was, Mendel made similar observations of the other pair of traits. He proposed that some factors were inherited from parent to the offspring. Factors are now called as genes. So Mendel said that there are few characters which are always passing on from the parent to the offspring. So that time Mendel was naming those factors. He said that these were the some factors, but now we do not call them as factors, we call them as genes. So genes are the ones which are carried from one generation to the other, or to the next generation. So earlier genes were known as factors, but now we call it as genes.